Welcome to my completely objective comparison, the recorder versus the piano. We all know the recorder, a high-status instrument with a long history, beloved by royalty such as Henry VIII, and described by Shakespeare as making the most eloquent music. And you may know the piano, an unwieldy beast that many musicians use as their first instrument. I'm Sarah, I'm a professional recorder player with 20 years of experience, and I learned the piano to average standard as a child. I feel thus fully qualified to make this entirely scientific comparison video. Let's get started! Ease of making a sound. Piano, easy peasy. I can play any note straight away. Whether you're a pro or a literal baby, you can play all the notes on the piano from the start. Recorder, the initial sound production is taken care of for you by nature of the fipple. But there are so many elements that influence the sound. Breath pressure, articulation. To create the different notes, one needs to learn complex cross-fingerings that require advanced fine motor control. The possibilities are endless, but you really have to work for them. Range. The piano has 88 keys with a range of more than 7 octaves. That's great piano. The recorder is a family of instruments, and if you can play one, you can play them all. The combined range of them in total is I think I've got to figure out how many octaves that is. It's a combined range of almost 7 octaves. But that's not all. Freed from the burdens of keys, the recorder is completely microtonal. Quarter tones, eighth tones, anything is possible. The piano, on the other hand, is fixed. There are mere semitones. There are microtonal pianos in existence, played by musicians looking to break free from the boundaries of this sadly limited instrument, but most do remain in their fixed state. This brings me to intonation. The modern piano is tuned in equal temperament, where every semitone is the same distance apart. This compromise is laughably distant from how tuning works in terms of sound wave physics. Our octaves and fifths work, but the thirds are... Even Praetorius stated of keyboard instruments in his 1614 treatise Syntagma Musicum, "They are rather incomplete and imperfect in that they do not afford the chromatic notes such as can be produced on lutes and other instruments." Sorry, pianos. The recorder is chromatic and microtonal. And as the pitch is flexible, we can employ just intonation. This means that the pitch of a note can be subtly adjusted according to the harmonic context, meaning that the intonation is always perfect. No wolf notes necessary. Should I say anything else about harmony? I think that's enough. Articulation. The recorder is incredibly sensitive. Any syllable uttered by the tongue has a considerable effect on the sound. You can almost speak through the instrument. It's so expressive. We can also use double or triple tonguing to play incredibly fast. Articulation on the piano, well, you push a key down and the sound is produced by a hammer far away from you on a string. I can't imagine how a difference in articulation could be achieved with such a disconnected instrument. I've heard musicians say that you can articulate on a piano, so I suppose the right thing to do would be to go and ask a professional for a demonstration. Vibrato! Oh, I love playing vibrato on the recorder. Breath. Throat. Flattement. Lip. Tongue. Rich in choice. Piano. Sustain. By holding these things down on the piano called pedals, you can create a more sustained note. Let's time it. Alright, I confess, I got a bit bored and sped this part up. The piano got 20 seconds and the little recorder got 40. Could go on forever, and actually with circular breathing you really can go on forever. But what about development of tone? The recorder offers many possibilities in its development of tone. Volume, timbre, texture, vibrato. Unsurprisingly, development of tone is impossible on the piano. Every note is a necessary decrescendo. There is nothing more that I can say about this. Dynamics. This brings me to dynamics. As I said, on the piano, a crescendo in tone is impossible. Once a note has been struck, it can only go one way. Down. One can achieve dynamics by pressing the keys harder and softer, and talented musicians have persevered to make this quite effective, within the knowledge that such dynamic play is limited to merely the attack of each note. I have to say that is quite expressive. On the recorder we have a wide dynamic range from extremely soft to extremely loud. These sounds are objectively beautiful, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to have them in a piece. Like I said before, each note can be initiated and then the dynamics manipulated. And in a recorder ensemble, this can go even further. It's like playing an organ, but each separate pipe is sentient. Chords. I get the feeling that you're going to be mad if I don't mention chords. A chord is multiple notes played together. Yeah, the recorder can play chords. Yeah, the piano can too. Clefs and reading. On the recorder, we read in treble and bass clef. We also commonly play recorders in C and in F, learning new fingering systems for each. Advanced players may then play recorders in G, D and B flat. Playing all of these in both clefs is 10 different systems of reading. Recorder players have big brains. Pianists also do really well. They can read in both bass clef and treble clef. It's a bit easier for them though, because although like recorder players they do use both hands, they don't have to blow or tongue as well. Portability. Recorders often come apart and then they can be transported in cases, roll bags, backpacks, even flight cases. As a professional, we often have to take many recorders with us and it can get pretty heavy. Pianos are sadly not very portable. It's okay though, because I see them everywhere. There's always one to play. There's one in our local pub, one in our kids' school hall, there's even one in the local train station. Affordability. Pianos seem to be quite affordable. True story, the one in our house was actually left here for free by the previous occupant, who said, and I quote, "Ik zie geen zin om dat oude ding te verplaatsen." My recorder here is handmade and it's a real work of art. A handmade instrument will set you back nowadays between €2,000 and €4,000. So this is all the information I need to conclude that pianos are more affordable than recorders. Conclusions. Here we are at the end of the video. Before I make some conclusions, I do have to say, I am a very good recorder player and I'm a rather average pianist. I'm also playing on a handmade professional quality recorder and a cheap old rickety piano. So will these gaps in my comparative experience influence my conclusions in any way? No? Why would they? I mean, I'm a musician. I'm equally qualified to talk about all kinds of music forever. So I reckon if you're thinking of starting music for the first time, a piano could be a really good choice. It's easy to make a sound, as it's such a visual instrument. It's quite simple to just work songs out that you know, and you don't have to worry about breathing or intonation. And they can be affordable. I'm always getting emails from strangers offering to just give me their deceased old mother's grand piano for free. The recorder, on the other hand, is a fine choice if you're looking to professionalise. It asks of you a coordination of faculties, a stability of breath, and a flexibility of both fine motor control and reading that goes beyond the requirements of a mere swathe of keys. So the only thing I can conclude is that the recorder is objectively better and that the piano is a fundamentally worse instrument. So take this information with you, and if you'd love to argue about it, please do so in my comments section, as your outrage will drive up my engagement. Thank you, music lovers, and happy April Fool's.